Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be reading your comments about different things about SSO. So I posted on my Star Stable Amino about questions that I wanted you to answer, so I'm going to be telling you what you commented on my post. So the first question that I put up was, what are your favorite things about SSO? And the first person said buying horses, which I totally agree. It's the main part of the game. The next question I had them answer was their dream update or idea for their game, and they said, I don't know if they have gypsy horses yet, but I want one. And yeah, they do have them, but they call them tinkers. Next, I asked about their feelings about the game, and they said they love the game, which is great, and I love it too. Next, I asked what you want SSO to improve on, and she said I want them to improve the game by not having to pay so much for star coins, which I totally agree on because their prices are a bit high, so I'm sure people would be more happy if they lowered it a bit. The last set of questions I'm going to answer is your favorite memories playing, and she said favorite memory was when there was a glitch and a girl was running into a tree. That sounds very funny. The next person that commented onto my post is Maddie, and again I'm going to answer the same questions. So the first one is your favorite things about the game, and she says new horses as well, which I totally agree on because Star Stable is getting better and better with every new breed they update or add to the game, so I definitely agree on that one again. She said her dream update or idea for the game is to add halters and blankets, which I 100% agree on. They have bridles in the game, but they don't have halters, and halters are like a very common item, and I think it wouldn't be too hard for them to add it, and blankets as well would be really cute. For the next one, her feelings about the game, she said, I love it, again, so I'm glad she likes it. For the fourth question, she says, I think that they should continue to update old areas and work on those instead of making new ones. It's always good to take a step back and update some older things, which I agree on as well. It would be nice if they did add a new area since we haven't gotten one since the end of 2017, but we do know there's not going to be one for this year, so hopefully next year there'll be a new area. Christina says one of her favorite things about the game is the realistic quests, which I agree on. I love the quests in the game, I just wish there was more of them, but it does take sometimes longer for them to do quests, especially story quests. The second one is your dream update or idea for the game, and she said breeding and more features that are predominantly realistic. Breeding would be fun, I think, and more features that are realistic. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. They could also make features that we already have, like washing your horse or leading your horse, more realistic, or even taking care of your horse, since some of those are not exactly realistic. Next, she said, I honestly hate the state that Star Stable is in, and she doesn't like the weekly updates, and Star Stable doesn't care about player feedback, they're just in it for the money. For the weekly updates, I've been so used to them, so if it did change, it would be a little weird, but I do like to look forward like every week to something new, even if it's really small or if it's not always interesting to everybody, or there's not too much out of it. I still like it. If they did less updates, like once a month or something like that, people might like it better because they may have more things for you to do or different things like that. So it might be nice if they did it less often, but I don't know if they're going to really change that since I'm sure the team is used to that too. I don't know if Star Stable is in it for money, because of course they would like money like all companies, but I'm sure that's not their only point. And about their player feedback, they could be better, but there's such a busy team and there's tons of new players than there were used to before, so maybe they were better at like listening to players before, but like everybody wants something, a lot of people want different things, and yeah, so they could be better on that too. For the next one, she said maybe do better updates, but monthly, and I actually said that previously, and greater quality and quantity of quests and overall content, which I agree on. There could always be more quests and they could always be longer and everything because it, it really gives you something to do in the game, and the quests are a big part of the game, not just the horses. And yeah, making horses, I think they're they've really improved on horses, so I don't know if that's something like, of course they could keep improving, but from the first horse they've made or the first breeds they've made like a few years ago, like they've really improved on that. And then making a solid storyline. The last thing she said was unlocking new games or areas, getting new horses, and getting the opponent and Golden Hill unlock questline. Oh, getting new areas, like opening them up, is always so fun. That's probably one of my favorite memories as well. Getting new horses, I remember saving up for weeks and weeks, so I remember that as well. And opponent and Golden Hill unlock questline, those were really big ones, especially for the Golden Hill one. I feel like that was like such a big thing. The next person who commented on my post is Avery Summerborn, and the first one she answered to is she said that it is hard to get bored unless you have been on for hours and literally done everything that you can, which is super hard, and I agree on. Like, just training, it takes like 2 hours, and I can like almost never do all the races in one day. And then there's dailies, reputation quests, all different things. So some people may get bored easily, but there's like a lot of things you can do in the game, but some of them it might be like really repetitive, such as training. Not everybody loves training, but it is something you can do in the game, so I agree with her. For her dream update, she said it is really hard to choose, so I picked two, and she said to be able to decorate your home stable, which would be really, really fun, I think, and seeing Linda's apartment with the new quest line, if you've played it. I'll try not to spoil it if you haven't, but you got to go into Linda's apartment, and it was so pretty, and if you can decorate and make it look super pretty like that. We have gotten furniture items in the past, like a few years ago with this one quest line, and we haven't had anything to do with it, so hopefully someday soon we can decorate our home stables, because that would be really fun. The next thing is for them to update Jarlaheim and the buildings, like the whole Jarlaheim, like the city. That would be really, really nice. I would love to update all the buildings, but Jarlaheim is pretty big, and I bet it would look so, so cool once it would be updated. And yeah, for what SSL can improve on, she said, I absolutely love the game, but I feel like they sometimes give updates that nobody asked for, example, Idris and the carnival stuff, which I know nobody asked for that either. And also, I think a big one also is, this was probably a few months ago, but in the Purple Pony, they added this whole mermaid set, like in different colors, and again, nobody asked for that, and it was obviously it wasn't like realistic, so I think some people weren't happy with that, but yeah, they could add more quests which people would want, especially more story quests, since that's a big thing. I think she meant this one for one of her favorite memories, but she says unlocking new places, which I think everybody can agree on. That is always a really fun time. The next person who commented is Gloria Apple Mountain, and the first thing for the question is she said all of the unique horses, which I totally agree on. I love all the variety of horses they have, and they're really I like everything about them, and they keep getting better, so they still have a lot they can add, so I'm sure they'll keep improving on that. For the next one, she said her dream update is for them to add alicorns, and I've never heard of this before, but I looked it up a couple days ago, and I think it's a unicorn that has wings, so it's a bit different. It would obviously be like more on the fantasy side. It's still a good idea. Next question, she said, I love the game and how cool and realistic it looks. I agree with that, because Star Stable has come a long way with its graphics, and I really like how it looks. It's a little bit fantasy, but I still love it, and I can't wait to see them update more areas. For the fourth question, she says she wants them to fix all of the saddles to the size of the new ones and let all of the horses use them. I love the new saddles. That would be a great idea for them to update all the old saddles, and also for all the horses to use them. That'd be great as well, because only like the newest horses can use them, not the really old ones. So I think that's definitely a great idea. The final question she answered is about the favorite memory, and she said probably the fun and activities with my club Enchanted Horses. I really like clubs in this game. It's a really nice part of the game, and it gives you time to have fun with your friends and to do all sorts of cool activities, so I'm really glad that they have clubs in the game, and yeah, that's her favorite memory. The next person that answered my questions is Hazel Applenose, and the first one she answered to, she said the main story quest line, as I like games like that, and it's pretty much the only reason I play, as I'm lucky enough to own horses in real life, so I don't usually play games that involve them, and yeah, I love the storyline as well, and yeah, that's her first one. The second one is for them to add more horse essentials like rugs, blankets, head collars or halters, the ability to lunge your horse, and also customizable home stables, adding a feature that tells people you're not interested in joining a club so they don't ask you. It would appear just above the player's head, just like it would if they were in a club. And them adding rugs or blankets would be really nice. And halters also, another person said that. I think it would be easy for them to add. They already have bridles, and halters are a very basic item. And to lunge your horse, that would be really nice as well. I think that would be really fun. And maybe lunging your horse can also, it could be another way to train your horse, since it kind of like, I think it would be nice if you can use that to train your horse. To add customizable home stables, again, to add furniture or to change the color of your home stable, that would be really cool, so that not everybody's home stable would look the same. And adding a feature that tells people you're not interested in joining a club, they kind of have that. You can choose so that you don't get club invites, but she says that if you didn't want to join a club, it would appear above your head. That would be something a little bit different. That sounds interesting, so I love all of her ideas. So yeah, those are her first two ones. So she says her feelings about the game. So she says it's a great game. Sometimes it can get a bit repetitive though, but you can tell there's been a lot of effort put into it, and I agree. Some things are repetitive, of course, like training or things like that, but yeah, there is a lot of effort put into stuff. It takes longer than you think to add quests, and yeah, so that's her third one. The fourth one is, I think it's for things SSO can improve on. She says, I don't really know, maybe the price of tech and clothing, as it has been getting really expensive lately, and I agree. Their clothing is getting pretty expensive, but maybe they can lower that, but I'm glad they've been increasing the tech in clothing, but at least they haven't been really increasing the horses. But yeah, that's what they can always improve on. And the last one about our favorite memories, probably unlocking Epona or Golden Hills, as I don't really chat to anyone in the game, so I haven't really made any friends, so progressing the game is probably my favorite memory, and I really agree on that one. I think everybody can. Unlocking areas is always super fun. Next person who answered to my questions is Claire Rose Ward, and the first one, she said, just the ability to live out a childhood dream is enough for me, and Star Stable is such a great game, and so I agree on that one. And her second one, she said, I'd love for the shillings cap to increase, a bank system to be added, which I like to call dynamic reputation system, and an in-game poll system so we can vote on updates, and those are really interesting what she said. So for the shillings cap, I think everybody would like that to be higher. especially with the increased clothing and tack items. And if you want to sell a bunch of clothes and want to buy a whole outfit all at once instead of buying one item at once, that would be really nice. And the star coins, there's not a max limit, so why does it have to be for Yorvik shillings? And I think it's always been the same, so I think they could really increase that. And a bank system to be added, that would be interesting. Also, another thing I would like, and I think other people, is if they had a trading system. So for example, if somebody didn't want, like, I don't know, a pony in the game, and they can sell it for even cheaper than the game price, and it could already be trained a little bit, that would be really cool. Or for clothes, they can sell like a good item for cheap if they don't want it anymore. And yeah, I think that would be really cool. That's just something I would add. She didn't say that. And an in-game poll system so we could vote on updates, I think that would be interesting. Sometimes on their Instagram they said, like, they say like, would you be interested in this? But I think if they listened, like if they asked the players more what we'd like, that would be really cool. And this way, maybe Star Stable thought something would be cool, but the players weren't interested in it. So I think the poll system to vote on updates would be really cool. The third one she answered to is, she says, I love the game very much, but I'm afraid to reach max level, as I know it will get very boring. Even with things to do, I find the game a bit repetitive. So yeah, once you reach max level, unless they add new things into the game like quests or reputation, there isn't really anything you can do. So of course when you're leveling up, there's tons and tons of quests, but I think they should add like special things for like that older players can unlock, like older level players to unlock, because it does get kind of boring that there isn't a ton of things you can do. So I agree on her for that. And she said things can get a bit repetitive, just like another person said. The fourth one she answered to is, she said she'd like them to improve on the customer service. As of right now, a lot of the older players are a bit jaded at the moment. It's a shame because the player base is what keeps games alive. SSO can't really rely on younger players to do that. Also, the price of tack nowadays is horrible for the stats that are on them. That is why we need a shillings cap increase. So she wants to first improve on customer service, which I can agree on. So I agree on that one. And yeah, they need to add more things for the older level players. I agree on that one a lot. And yeah, the players are what keep the game alive, so if nobody played this game, then the game wouldn't be alive. So I think maybe they should listen to their players more. And the price of the tack is horrible, and we need stats on them. So yeah, the price of tack is really high, but another big thing is not every item has stats on it. So if they added more stats on items, like not just like regular items, but also like holiday items you can earn during different events, like limited events, like birthday events or Halloween or Christmas. A lot of the stuff don't have stats, or like for Halloween you get an outfit and it might be really cute, but there might not be stats, so it's not like you can race with it, or it would make you slower wearing it. So if they can add full stats to like pretty much anything, that would be really cool. And the final one she said about her favorite memory is, she said, when I made a small group of friends by quitting old memes in chat, then getting chat banned because of the hashtags. Couldn't handle the memes. So that sounds fun, and yeah. So that is all what she said, so yeah. The next person who answered to all of my questions is Sophia Puppy Peak, and the first one she said, I love rolling and hanging out with my bestie in-game, Heather, and that sounds like fun, so I'm glad she enjoys that. And the second one, she says, a personal paddock that our horses and our stable can roam around freely, and I think that's such a great idea. The paddocks in the game, they might be like empty, or they might have just random like NPC horses running around. But if we had a personal paddocks, this way our horses aren't in their stables doing nothing all day. If we can see them in a paddock, that would be super cool. And the third one she answered to, she said, I love Star Stable. I've been playing since the commercial showed on TV, which I didn't know they had a commercial that was once on TV. That sounds really cool. But now I feel like Star Stable is getting a bit greedy, only bring out horses and double star coins. They are bringing out a lot of horses, but it's not like that's the only thing they're working on, because they do have different teams to work on different things in the game, and yeah, so maybe it's a bit faster to make some horses than making like quests, but yeah, and they do bring out double star coins a lot. I think they bring it out about every month, but sometimes they bring it out a bit earlier in the month than maybe the time before was a little bit later in the month. And the fourth question she answered to, she says, I want Star Stable to update our characters, which, yes, it is a huge thing that they would need to do. They updated it really only once before, because our characters used to have really long necks, which I don't really remember, but I mean, I was playing around then, but I don't really remember. I don't know. It was kind of a long time ago. And so yeah, updating our characters would be such a big thing. And for updating our characters, this is what I would want. I would want our characters to have different body shapes, because right now our character has only one body shape. And yeah, it would be really nice if we could have different body shapes, more hairstyles, longer, shorter, all different kinds of hairstyles and colors. And yeah, just I want our characters to look like the Soul Riders, because when they first came out, everybody they couldn't believe it, and I hope our characters will be like that. I hope we'll be able to get like really cool characters like that. That would be so awesome. And she said, I want Star Stable to improve our chat, which is definitely a big thing. I know they can't let us say anything in the chat because, like, you know, like they don't want like people telling personal information or things like that. They could improve it. I know they're trying their best. And also I know a lot of people get chat banned for doing pretty much nothing. But yeah, they could always improve their chat. I know on different servers you can say a lot more things, so hopefully they'll improve our chat. And they said maybe emojis. Emojis, I've never heard of this one before, like adding it to the game, but that does sound really cool now that I'm reading it now. And emojis might be cool because I love using like emojis, so emojis is a really cool idea. And the last one, she said her favorite memory is hanging with my best friend Heather, and not too long ago realizing that the grass sways like if the wind was moving it. And that's actually really funny that she just noticed that. But yeah, it does do that. So that's what she said. So thank you for commenting on my post. And yeah, next person who answered all of my questions is Lay. I hope I'm saying it right, but the first one she said is my friends, of course, and friends are really fun to have in the game, so I agree on that. The second one she said I'd love some dressage, liberty, and possibly trick riding. That sounds really fun. Yeah, I'd love to have dressage in the game. That's a big thing, and maybe you can even train your horse doing dressage, learn some moves, and liberty would be really fun, and trick riding, that would be so fun as well. All those ideas are really, really great. And the third thing she said is, I think it's pretty boring, honestly. I only log on to hang out with my club and friends and champs. Yes, I'm a racer. Thank you very much. And I know some people think the game is getting boring lately, but they are trying their best, so hopefully we'll get more quests soon. I know that on Wednesday, tomorrow, it seems like it's going to be a cool update. The fourth thing she said is, I hate the graphics. They look too much like a cartoon, and I think they need to be more realistic. I also think they need to stop updating every week because it's never any main quests anymore. So she thinks the graphics look too much like cartoons, and I know maybe some of them do, but I think from what they used to look like before, I think it is a big improvement. And she said they need to stop updating every week. I mean, I know different people may think so. I mean, I wouldn't. It would definitely be something to get used to if they did it. I know some people want them to update less often so that they have a more, like, a bigger update to have. And yeah, the final thing she said is my favorite memories are probably when I met some of my closest friends today, like Andrea Greenstar, Melanie Lightpaw, and Madison Zebranest. So yeah, again, that's what she said. She loves hanging with her friends. So thank you for answering all of my questions. The next person to answer all of my questions is Gillian Diamond Tree, and the first one, she said my favorite things are how where it's like a game for anyone, and it's like for people whom they do not have horses in real life, so it gives them a feeling like they have horses, like I do not have a horse in real life. So one reason I play is that it makes me feel like I have a horse, and that's great, and I love the game for that reason too. For the second one, she says, I wish they made it where the payment of horses were less expensive. Same with the star coins, which I totally agree on. Definitely for buying star coins, it would be great if they could do lower prices. And yeah, she said they're so expensive nowadays, and I wish they made it where you can buy horses with Jorvik shillings, or like there was a button where you can have 9,999 Jorvik shillings, and it gives you 50 star coins. That sounds really cool. I would love if they had that, like you can earn Jorvik shillings to trade them in for star coins. That would be really cool. And if there was a video mode where there are things on it where you can make good quality SSO videos, and all you would need is to pay 15 Jorvik shillings. Just like with a photo mode, if they made a video mode, that'd be great. I know a lot of people would like that as well. I don't even think like they would make you pay to do that, because with photo mode you don't have to pay to use the feature. I love all of her things she says so far, so I'm gonna move on to the third one. For the third one, she says, same as the first, I love the game, it's just magical, it gave me hope for life. That sounds weird, but yeah. So yeah, I love the game as well, it's so fun. For the fourth one, she said, I want the chat ban system to be better, because I have a dressage club, it's not mine, but I had chat ban for 5 days, and it ends tomorrow, but it was hard to keep up. It did not let you even see the chat or mail. Wish it was better because there are 18 plus role players in SSO and they do not get chat banned, and I get bullied a lot, and they were saying mean things to me and they did not get chat banned, and people are saying cussing in the game like this, and I do not mean this. You know that, and that is how they do it. I just hate it, and I got chat banned just by misspelling a word. That's how I got the 5-day chat ban. I just do not like it. It makes me feel like I hate those people, but I do not. I agree with the chat, like the whole chat system. It's really annoying, like some like words that aren't even bad, like excited. I don't think you could say excited, you have to say exited. And a lot of people who are totally not trying to be like say bad things, they get chat banned. So I hope they will improve it, and yeah, so the next person to answer all of my favorite memories, she says, my favorite memories are when I saw the Halloween update, and I was so happy. I was just talking about it for so long, and it's like and when I got Golden Hills, I was so happy, and when I got my first horse and I got Lifetime, I was so happy. I do not have a horse in real life. So one reason, and when she got Pandoria and Epona, I have a horse, will be my favorite memories because I will go there for years, and I had the game for like 3 years now, and it's 2020. For the second one, she says, I wish they made it where the payment of horses were less expensive. From her. Same with the star coins, which I totally agree on. Definitely for buying star coins. So that's for her, and I think it would be great if they could do lower prices. Yeah, let's get into it. The last person to answer, yeah, she said they're so expensive nowadays, and I wish they made it where you can buy horses with Jorvik shillings, or like there was a button where you can have 9,999 Jorvik shillings, and it gives you 50 star coins. And when that sounds really cool. I would love if they had that, like you can earn Jorvik shillings to trade them in for star coins. That would be really cool. The second one is, she says, or you can click on another button, and if you have 9,999, is what you do. It gets you them. I may have said off. And if there was a video mode where there are things on it where you can make good quality SSO videos, and all you would need is to pay 15 Robux shillings. Like the game would see what you're doing and the character if they made a video mode, that would be great. I know a lot of people would like that as well. Sounds cool, I don't even think like third one, she says, they would make you pay to do that because with photo mode you don't have to pay to use the feature. And she said, I love all of her things she said filters on Polish servers because if you write a word, part of it is rude, you get a chat ban. This hasn't happened to me, but it has to my friends and cousins who play SSO. So yeah, again, the chat filter could be improved, so hopefully they'll improve it a little bit so it's like, so you can actually talk to your friends and stuff. And the fifth one, she said, definitely getting Star Rider back in February and now getting Pandoria. When I got Star Rider, I was so happy. I didn't think I was gonna get it. It was a lot of convincing, but I got it, and yeah, Pandoria is super fun, so unlocking Pandoria is super cool, and it's such like a cool, like magical place. Like it's totally different, and it's just so cool. So thank you for commenting, whatever that word is, and thank you so much to everybody who was in this, and I'll put all of your I'll put all your responses on the screen if you haven't noticed, if you're just listening. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. It took a lot of work to make, so please give it a big thumbs up, and if you aren't already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know every single time I'm gonna make a new video, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!
What does perfect even mean?